My in-laws treated me like trash for years. Then I found out why. I knew my in-laws didn't like me, but I didn't understand how much until I realized they never planned to. From the moment I married their daughter, I was wrong. Not rude wrong. Not criminal wrong. Just not enough. Not educated enough. Not wealthy enough. Not impressive enough to justify her choosing me. They never said it outright. They didn't have to. It was in the way conversations stopped when I entered a room. The way my job was described as temporary, no matter how many years I worked it. The way her siblings' achievements were celebrated loudly, while mine were met with silence or a forced smile. At family dinners, I was always seated at the end of the table. If there weren't enough chairs, I was the one expected to stand or grab one from another room. If food ran low, no one asked if I'd eaten. Her mother once laughed and said, "Oh, you're not picky. You'll eat anything." I wasn't picky. I was invisible. My wife told me to ignore it. Said they were traditional. Said they'd warm up eventually. Said I was too sensitive. So I stayed quiet. I smiled. I showed up. Then it got worse. They started joking about me to my face. Calling me lazy. Calling me the practice husband. Saying things like, "Well, if this doesn't work out, at least she learned what she doesn't want." Everyone laughed, including my wife. I tried talking to her about it once. Just once. I told her it hurt, that it was humiliating. She sighed and said, "You're reading too much into it. That's just how they are." That was the moment I understood something important. She wasn't protecting me. She was protecting them. The breaking point came at her cousin's wedding. During the speeches, her father stood up, glass in hand, already smiling like he was about to deliver a punchline. He thanked everyone for coming, praised the family, then said, "And of course, thank you to my daughter's husband for, well, being here." Laughter. He added, "You know, not everyone gets the son-in-law they imagined." More laughter. I felt my face burn. I looked at my wife. She stared straight ahead. That night I didn't sleep. Not because I was angry, but because something inside me finally shut down. I stopped trying after that. I still showed up, but I watched. I listened. I remembered. I noticed how often my wife complained about me to them. How easily she let them believe I was the problem. How she never corrected their assumptions, only added to them. Then I found out the truth. It came from her brother's wife, of all people. She pulled me aside during a holiday gathering and said, very quietly, "You know they blame you for the money, right?" I didn't. Turns out, my wife had been telling them for years that I was the reason we couldn't afford certain things. That I held her back. That I wasn't ambitious enough. She'd let them believe she was sacrificing her future to stay with me. Meanwhile, she'd been quietly draining our joint savings to cover her own debts. Debts she never told me about. Everything clicked at once. The resentment, the contempt, the permission they felt to humiliate me. I wasn't just disliked. I was the approved scapegoat. I didn't confront her immediately. I planned. I separated our finances. I documented everything. I waited until the next big family gathering, her mother's birthday dinner. Big, loud, dozens of relatives. Halfway through the meal, her father started in again. Same jokes, same tone, same smug smile. This time I stood up. I said calmly, "Before you finish, I just want to clear something up." The room went quiet. I said, "You've spent years blaming me for holding your daughter back financially, for not being good enough, for wasting her potential." I looked at my wife. I said, "Would you like to tell them where the money actually went?" Her face went white. I continued. I laid it all out. The debt, the accounts, the lies, the fact that I'd been covering for her while being humiliated in return. No yelling, no insults, just truth. Her mother started crying. Her father couldn't look at me. Her siblings stared at her like they were seeing a stranger. My wife tried to interrupt. I held up my hand and said, "No, I've been quiet for years. You can be quiet for 5 minutes." When I finished, I sat down. I didn't argue when she followed me out. I didn't respond to the messages. I filed for divorce the next week. Update. The family doesn't speak to her anymore. Turns out they hate being lied to more than they hate me. She tried to come back. Told me she finally understood how loyal I'd been. How patient. How unfair everything was. She said she was ashamed. Said she'd let them treat me badly because it was easier than standing up to them. She said I was the best man she'd ever have. I told her something I wish I'd said years earlier. You don't miss me. You miss having someone willing to be humiliated for you. I walked away without looking back. And for the first time since marrying into that family, I felt respected. Thank you for watching. Check out my channel for more stories like this. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Midnight Tea Stories.